So first question, organizations are bound to change and change is natural. Organizations that will not change are moribund. So this is about the tendency of change in the organizations. The question is focusing on the moribund means that will extinct. They will die. So change is inevitable. The organizations are bound to change. That means inevitability of the change. It is natural. And organization that will not change will extinct. That is the moribundancy of the organizations. So there are so many examples. Organizations that could not change according to the circumstances have extincted. East India Company is no more existent. Nokia was also on the verge of extinction. So therefore, in the introduction, you should say that the nature of the change. The nature of the change is that it is inevitable and it is common for any organization. And any organization that is averse to change is moribund. Averse to change means opposed to change. So there are three things which influences the change.
Your introduction,
same thing, that is the nature of the change.
okay.
And there are three things that would influence the change, and that is technology and environment and the people. There are three elements that will influence the change. Technology is that includes the technical elements, including the rules and regulations, then planning, organizational system, and similarly, any element that will influence the operationalization of the organization is the technology. So technology is instrumental in changing the organizations by affecting the power structure and the goals, and also affecting the organizational structure itself. And the second element that influences the change is the environment. Environment means the task environment, in fact. Task environment means the conditions in which you are working the job, you are doing the job. So the organizations will react to the changing environment. Environment influences the organization, as well as organization influences the environment. So lack of such kind of response to the change in the environment is hurting to the organization. So organization has to adjust itself according to the requirements of the surroundings. So otherwise organization would extinguish. So organization is like an organism that is having a life. So organization, like an organism, is a living thing, a kind of living thing. It has to grow, it has to expand, or it has to reduce itself, but it should not extinguish. So therefore, organizations must react to the environment. Suppose when the Russia-Ukraine war broke out, Netflix, Microsoft have closed their activities in Russia. Otherwise, they will not survive in the system. So in the same manner, when any changes are occurring in the government policy, rules and regulations, the organizations must adjust accordingly. So the continuous focus on expenditure on the research and development by the organization is only intended to do that. So even you can take the example of Twitter as an organization that has reacting to the environmental changes, including rebranding of the Twitter into X. So it's a kind of reactionary activity. Facebook rebranding into Meta is also intended to reacting to the changing environment, including the technology. So the two dimensions in this aspect, in this question, we can see in these two cases, in the case of Facebook and the Twitter, where technology is influencing these organizations adjusting according to the technology. Facebook has changed into Meta is because the technologies are changing. Artificial intelligence is emerging. Virtual realities are coming. So incorporating those metaverse aspects, the Facebook has rebranded itself into Meta. So that is a response to the technology. a response to the changing preferences of the people. That is the environmental element. Then the third element that will influence the change is the people. So because handling the technology and dealing with the environment is the task of the people. Because without the people, organization cannot exist. So however best technology you may introduce, technology has to be handled by the people only ultimately. And so suppose in the recent times, we are seeing the emergence of the new jobs. And they say that artificial intelligence will result in elimination of the jobs. But though existing jobs eliminated, new jobs are emerging. With the emergence of the ChatGPT, the introduction of the ChatGPT by the Microsoft, 10,000 new jobs are going to emerge. And because you have to handle the technology, the people have to handle the technology. So a new such kind of job that has emerged in the system, in the world, is the prompt engineer. The concept of the prompt engineer. Who is a prompt engineer? A prompt engineer is a person who can talk to the artificial intelligence. So otherwise, artificial intelligence talks to itself and will pose a very big threat to the world. So therefore, there is a need for the people who has to handle the technology as well. So the people will be required to handle the technology as well as to react according to the environmental conditions. So these three dimensions will influence the change: technology, environment, and the people. So finally, what we should write is, change is caused by the champions of change. That is, the champions of the change means the people who are confident, persistent, energetic, and risk-prone people. So one such person, suppose Elon Musk, you can take the example. He is a champion of the change. People may ridicule him, but he is the champion of change. He has introduced so many things in the world. And recently,